Hi, welcome back to Like a Therapist. My name is Kat, and today we're going to talk about primarily business. Post-COVID, there are tons of virtual at-home opportunities, and pre-COVID. I'm here to tell you that pre-COVID, oh my gosh, this is when I um, literally took my own individual expertise, combined it, started a business, worked from home, and literally generated more work than I could do. I ended up selling off the business that I was getting because it was just way too much, right? So the growth back then was phenomenal. The growth now is literally out of this freaking world. Okay, so what is it that you want to do from home? What is it you want to do from home? Because I can't tell you exactly what I do because it encompasses a lot of industries because I'm into marketing and I cover the gamut of industries from enterprise business, Fortune 100 companies, even mom and pop businesses, startups, web design. I do consultation. I'm a certified life coach, accredited life coach for real. Um, and I'm definitely that business consultant part of me is what really, really drives me. So I want to help you be able to set up your home business. Okay. Number one, biggest question of it all, biggest question. If you don't have, and excuse my French here, if you don't have the ass to do this work, and I mean literally the ass to work 120 hours a week sometimes, then you really won't be able to, unless you're willing to wait for 3 years and pace yourself out as to how you start up. You're going to understand what I'm saying here in a minute because at-home business isn't all glamorous and glorified like most people think. They're like, "Oh, help me." And I'm always telling them, unless they really see it as actually a harder, not easier. It's harder to work from home than it is to get out. Sure, you don't have the drive. Sure, you don't have to get dressed up every day. But if you're like me, you do. You still get dressed up every day. You still have a life. You still you have to. The hardest thing I think about it is keeping people understanding that you're actually working certain hours of the day. They don't know which hours of the day you're working. So no one ever knows when to contact you, when it's a good time. I wish I could get a few friends to understand that still to this day, to let me know if there are plans in the future. Let me know what they're thinking about for the future because I am a micromanager and schedule everything that I do, literally down to phone calls with my parents years ago. My mom got very upset with me. The only real time ever, she didn't talk to me for a while because she called me up and tried to talk, and I said, "Mom, I really have to go." She goes, "Do I have to make an blanking appointment to talk to you? Never mind, Kat." And she hung up the phone, didn't call me or wouldn't accept my phone calls for at least a week. She got my attention though, because you really do, if you're like me anyway, depending on what you want to do, you really do immerse yourself into a lifestyle that is very difficult to manage. So understand that from the start. It is very difficult to manage. Even if you only have one client, and I always had upwards of 15 or more at a time, I know for sure, even with one client, you do have to be very, very organized. So if you do not have that skill, if you think you're organized in your or could be organized in your business and your home or your life is disorganized, then forget it. Then just forget it because until you are organized in your business, you will not succeed. And please don't get mad at me and say, I succeeded. My house and my life was a mess, and I use that as a motivation to get started. I am so happy for you then. That's awesome. I am literally happy for you. Okay, number one, understand that it's a harder job. Number two, it's really easy to actually get clients. So many people will say, well, how do I get my clients? How do I get started? You have to I feel like you have to have your online profiles out there being very branded, meaning matching each other. I still am working on mine because mine's so hard to create because it encompasses from the late 70s in Chicago until now. So that's a pretty long personal data sheet. And yet I tell everyone just to start with your simple background first on LinkedIn. LinkedIn, because there are job opportunities on LinkedIn that, you know, you can either apply to, or you will be seen from your job, or your resume or your profile from others who would want to hire you through LinkedIn. Okay, so let's just say out of the blue, you get a person getting a hold of you, wanting you to work for them. Let's say you want to do just simple customer service. You want to help them answer their phones during the day. Okay, that's easy. That's pretty much a no-brainer. You just route the calls to others, but it's a very important job. So it's a good paying job. It's easier on the mind. It's a great way to get started. I actually got started that way too. I Then, okay, sorry, I do these ad lib. Okay, so then let's say you get this client that's totally interested. You say okay, but you're afraid to take the job, afraid for whatever reason. It's not legit, whatever. You can contact me. I mean, there are portals that you're able to contact me. I can help you through that. I would be glad to help you through that because I don't want you to make some of the same mistakes I did, but I would say it's legit. Take the job, get started, make sure I'm looking at my office over there. Make sure your home and office is a quiet, professional, organized workplace, and you will impress um, that job representative who will then leave you great reviews. I'm telling you, after my first review for the same type of job, I am also a writer, so I got an offer from the Lincoln Subcommittee, yes, the Lincoln Subcommittee, to write an article on the Emancipation Proclamation. I did it. After I added that to my resume, my freaking business exploded just from that. And that's been I would say every bit of almost 20 years ago, probably 17 or 18 years ago. Okay, so then you get your resume flowing. Then you post more profiles online. Then potentially a website. Decide what client services you're going to offer to your business. Do you have an expertise other than, it may sound entry level, customer service or a help desk, maybe even most companies will train you. But if you're applying for these type of jobs, then definitely do not look at them like they're not that important because they are literally the backbone to every business. You should emulate that or is that the proper way to phrase it? You should represent that in your resume that you feel like customer service, customer relationship management is the backbone to every business. And a potential client will see that. If they are a good client, they will say, you know what, that's so spot on. I need the best customer service person ever. And that will help you stand out. So if you need help standing out in your resume, I can help you there too. Okay, are you ready to get started? Do you want to sell on eBay? Do you want to sell on Amazon? Amazon's a little harder to get started on. YouTube channels are hard. You have to meet so many standards to get monetized, but it's worth the try. I can also tell you that it's definitely worth it to do 2 or 3 different things at the same time. They call it side jobs, yeah, side gigs. Okay, side hustles. That's it. Where you can actually work your normal day-to-day brick and mortar job and work maybe 2 hours at night and build a really good passive income that will come to you without you doing any more work for that project other than control your business, manage it, manage the accounting, so on and so forth. It's very exciting to work from home indeed, but it is very hard. It is very hard to get started. So I'm there with you. I've been doing this all my life, actually, since 14, and I have my Teen Talk column. I have been passionate about business, and I'm just literally here for you. I am proud of you. This is a great time to enter this business for real. There are more virtual jobs out there than you could ever imagine. And I can tell you that if you apply for them, you will get several clients that you can work. I always keep more than one so that, as they say, a backup to the backup. And I wish you all the best in your business endeavors. I will be releasing soon a client services manual that I've been working on for literally years and just I guess you can say I've been procrastinating. I'm a procrastinator sometimes. So I can't do that anymore. I'm going to definitely clean it up, write out the step-by-step things that you need to do down to contacting your city, It never costs that much money at all to start an at-home business. In fact, many at-home businesses cost zero, and I can show you how. So let me know. I will give you all that information later in the future on that guide and when it is released. My website's not even totally released. I'm just doing these videos as a preliminary to launching my next level phase business, which is, of course, like a therapist. Read below on why I named it like a therapist. We all share, and then we are all each other's therapist, right? Mwah. Much love, and I wish you all the best.